You guys having a good evening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you ain't got to call me sir.
Week 2, getting ready to start.
I'm not that old. All right, Jack. I tinkered with the opening a little bit. I added a few of your clips in there, so let's check it out.
Let's see.
All right.
Go with it.
What's up, guys? Wednesday night, August 25th, 8 o'clock, and that means it's time for the gang to get back together to talk week 2 of the football season. How's it going?
Good. That's a cool intro, Chris. I like Jack's place.
I like Jack's place too.
Yeah.
Now that Jack has his 2 plays in there, all but like 3 of those are clips I made, so I still think it's a good clip. But good stuff. Did y'all were you able to go to some games Friday?
Yeah, I went to Chambers at Gibbons Friday night, and with that game having a 3-hour rain delay, I was only able to catch the first half. So I talked my parents into bringing me up to Roseville for Saturday against Pinecrest to see another game and get an interview, and Pinecrest ended up winning that game. So I kind of got a game and a half last weekend.
I was out of town last week, so I did not go to a Friday night game. And Sanderson is still out with COVID, so hopefully I can find another game in Raleigh this Friday, and then by then Sanderson will be back.
Let's hope so. What about you, Dana?
I went over to my alma mater and check out my Storm Out team. They opened up with a very tough opponent, East Surrey, who's coming off 3 straight appearances in the state title game. And East Surrey still got a really good ball club, and Coach Lohman over there at Pilot Mountain has got a good team over there, and they've got a really exciting game this Friday. I assumed it's one of your top games, Chris, Mount Airy and East Surrey, that big rivalry game there. So that should be a really good game.
Yeah, I agree. Well, hey, guys, we got our first guest already in here, and I'm just real happy to have him on, to be honest. I've had a chance to talk to him a couple times the past few days. Coach Adrian Snoke will bring you in. Buddy, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm laid back right now, but sitting here watching our JV game. They won't let me go to the game, so I get to watch it online. So that's what I'm doing right now. So. And
I see my dog Baloo back there behind you. I ain't seen him in a while.
Yeah, my dog Baloo's back here hanging out, trying to take care of business, and he's glad to see me. So it's nice.
Well, hey, Coach, I'm glad you're where you need to be, and we've been thinking about you and praying for you, and glad to see you back at home and just rest up, and we know we'll be seeing you on the sideline soon.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I'm glad to be home too. I ain't gonna lie to you. Home is always good to be in anybody's home. You just want to be home, but I can't think enough of prayers and people thinking of me, and it's been crazy, but I'm glad to be home.
Yeah, I was going to mention, we Snapchat back and forth during the day, and I missed seeing your dog. I don't know if Macy was playing with him or not, but I hope that he got his playtime in while you were gone.
Just a little bit.
Was he happy to see you?
Crazy. Like I couldn't get him to stop licking me. So it was, but it was good though. I'm glad I got to see him.
Well, I know we've talked a lot about how everything went for you, but how happy, I guess, or just what's your feelings with all the outflowing of support that has come your way from just people all over the state, your team, your community? I know it's got to be humbling just to know that you got that many people out there that cares about you.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just thankful and grateful. I can't. There's a song that I've been listening to by Chris Christopherson, and it's called "Why Me, Lord," and it's just one of those things. I sit around at times and cry, and just I don't know. It's just so emotional of what I've dealt with, but I can't thank again the people, the prayers, the thoughts, and the good well wishes. My phone has not stopped buzzing. My wife's phone's not stopped buzzing. It's just it can't. It just shows you what kind of community we have here, not only in Clemens but in North Carolina, and how tight our group is. Yeah, we all want to beat each other and do that, but ultimately we care about each other and we care about people, and that's what's cool about North Carolina and North Carolina football.
Coach, Friday night, your team played a very good AC Reynolds team and came away with a big win. I was just wondering, was you in contact with somebody over at the game, and did they give you updates? Or I know it's a hard position to be in, not being there with your team, but I'm sure you were very proud of your bunch over there in that win.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'd really talk to them about that. At halftime, I might send a few texts if I saw something. No, but I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to be a distraction. So basically, I just kind of I sent a text at halftime about a few things. Nothing that basically they had not already seen. We jumped off sides a couple of times on the kickoff team, which was about to kill me. And literally they came in to check my blood pressure during that. And I told the lady, I said, you need to leave because it's not a good time to be in here. And she did, and that was fine. But then we ended up got going. But our kids did a great job. They're very resilient. Our coaching staff has been awesome. They've just jumped right in and taken over, and they've handled the situation. Sean Joyce has done a great job. John McIntosh. These guys have. Well, we've had a group. My group's been together for a while, so it's like it's not like we're new and we're kind of all right. We're kind of trying to figure some stuff out. We were all kind of together. We've been doing it for a while, so they just kind of plugged in, and here we go.
Coach, with you being out, how have you seen your team, and your players step up, missing that leadership role that you have?
Well, we talk all the time about, leadership is great. Ultimately we want leadership from the kids, because if you get it from them, then a player-led team is a whole lot better than a coach-led team. So ultimately, I think our kids have done a really good job there, and I think it's afforded them the opportunity to do it even more. Because sometimes I ain't gonna lie to you, I get to where I'll say stuff, do stuff because that's just what I do. But now I'm not there, so that gives them more of an opportunity to step into that role and to get it done. So hopefully it'll kind of help us throughout the rest of the year too.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I was going to ask you, and I know we've kind of had this conversation already, but it's something that I thought a lot about. Tell me how going through what you've gone through, really it could have been a life or death thing if you get down to it, and the seriousness of it. But tell us how it kind of puts the football aspect into a greater perspective, because we both have lived football for a predominant part of our life, and it seems to be so important. But then all of a sudden something like this happens and you realize maybe it ain't that important. Maybe just kind of tell us how that's affected you.
Ultimately, it's not. I love it, and I love what it's done for me and my life, and watching what it's done for kids to help grow. but ultimately it's a small little speck in this whole world. I think it just puts perspective into about life, what I've dealt with, but also to kind of understand that it's okay to slow down a little bit sometimes and smell the roses, which I've not done as probably good of a job of. It's like I didn't get the shot, and the reason I didn't get the shot was because of football. I had a meeting. Me and my wife were going to go do it. They called a meeting, and I went and did the meeting because that's what I do. I mean, it's just so it's one of those things where it just puts a lot of perspective on life and making sure you're trying to do the right thing. And but I look at those situations like the Western Carolina offensive line coach. He's in the same boat I was in a couple weeks ago, and he ended up passing away. And it's like you just kind of trying to figure out the whys, but I think you live day to day and do the best you can.
Oh, well, again, we've got here with Coach Adrian Snow, West Forsyth, on here with us. Any of you guys got any more questions for the coach tonight?
I don't. I'm glad you're doing better.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, Coach, again, we appreciate you coming on, and we'll let you go so you can get your rest. But thanks for joining us, and we'll hope to catch up with you on some more game-related circumstances throughout the year. But again, thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian.
All right, guys. Wow. Talking about putting things into perspective. That'll do it for you right there.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah. So it's good. It's good to see him back, and just we know this is a serious issue, and we want everybody to stay safe out there.
Yeah, and he and I had this conversation. He and I talk. Probably one of my best friends in coaching right there. And he and I talk every day, it seems like. And we had this conversation yesterday. He said that you go through something like this and you realize football just ain't that important anymore. And I think we all get caught up in the daily grind of what it is we do. But I think it takes something like this to kind of give us a little bit more perspective that there is more to football. And obviously, let's look into news and look at the incredibly sad news that came out of Dutch Fork last night. With one of their players passed away. And, man, it's just gut-wrenching to think that something like that could happen. But it does, and it shows us how fragile our lives can be.
Yeah.
Yep. I know we got an interview coming up here in a little bit. We got Grimsley defensive and offensive lineman Jamal Jarrett coming on. We're going to talk to him. They got a big game. We got a lot of big games coming up here throughout the course of the week. Hopefully we get most of them played. There's already been a lot of calls and just so much going on with coaches trying to find games, with teams unable to play this week and even next week, and some of them for a couple of weeks now. Due to going into the protocols related to the COVID. So we'll certainly have to keep our ear to the ground and stay tuned to all of our social medias and some stuff. You see them right down here at the bottom of the screen. Anybody have any questions or anything? But before we get our interview on, Jack, you had a chance to go to the big game last week, actually several big games, but you were at one of the big games. And tell us about the contest you saw and about this interview that we've got to play.
So Saturday, I went to Roseville versus Pinecrest. It was I'd say a very anticipated matchup, but a lot of people had Roseville as probably the best team in the East. So I think a lot of people expected Roseville to win, but Pinecrest went up there with the chip on their shoulder, played tough. I know they lost their head coach, Chris Metzger, but it looked like they were the same team. They were still strong, and they just ran right through Roseville. They scored a lot of points. Their defense got big stops towards the end of the game, and they pulled off the upset. I got my interview with the quarterback, Brody Carez. He played a great game, very tough, directed the team, a great team leader, and so I talked with him after the game on Saturday.
All right, well, let's check that out. Appreciate the hard work. Let's see your interview here. We'll roll the film right now.
Here with Pinecrest quarterback Brody Carez. They just got a huge win to open up the season against Roseville. Brody, you guys played a great opponent tonight to open up the season. What does a big win like this mean to y'all's team?
Hey, this is just the beginning. This means that we have so much potential. This is just the floor. We're gonna reach super high heights this year. Y'all pay attention. We're on watch, baby. Let's go.
You guys play a tough style football, run the ball up their throats. Take a few sentences just to describe this team on the court, off the court, as a team, as brothers, stuff like that.
It's a brotherhood, man. I mean, I've known these kids since I was in elementary school. We've been playing football for forever, so we're hanging out all the time. We're so close, and we get after it in practice. We go against each other's throats. We're fighting. We're going crazy at practice. So that prepares us for games like this, baby.
This is a great program. Past few seasons, I've had great seasons. What does it mean? What are y'all's goals this season? Carry on the tradition of Pinecrest football.
Hey, conference championship and state championship. You better believe it, man. You better believe it.
Yes, sir.
Come here, Kel.
Great. What you gotta say?
Oh, we the best team in North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
We got a chip on our shoulder. We gonna knock it off though. Don't worry about it.
Yes, sir. Great game, guys.
Wow, I like the chip on your shoulder part right there, Ian. And you know what? There was a lot of conversation kind of talking about the demise of that Pinecrest program when Coach Metzger left. Some of us are old enough, I know you two aren't, but some of us are old enough to remember the shape that program was in prior to his arrival back in 2007. And to see where they've gotten to today is amazing. But Bob Curtin, he's retired colonel in the Army, coached in the area for a long time. Great coach, and he has done a tremendous job in keeping that program headed in the right direction. And it was probably irresponsible for a lot of us to think that maybe that program wasn't going to stay on the same trajectory, probably me included. So I'll have to take some of that as well. So how did the Roseville fan? I heard that was a pretty big crowd on Saturday night. Jack, how did the Roseville fan base kind of handle that loss? Because that's not something they did a lot of last year.
Yeah, there was a ton of people there. I mean, the stands were almost full, and it was like overflowing into like a commons area beside the stands. But to be honest with you, the atmosphere and environment, the fans weren't very loud and didn't engage too much. The student section wasn't that large. And so I think that was another thing. Like Pinecrest was able to have a lot of momentum and momentum swings because they had a lot of fans there too, and their fans were pretty into the game. So I think the home field advantage for Roseville wasn't as big as I think they wanted it to, and I think that kind of hurt them and Roseville being able to keep the energy up and momentum up.
Yeah, and Chelsea, maybe you can help answer this too. But and Dina, you've probably seen this. I think playing on Saturday probably had a lot to do with it. Kids probably had plans for Friday night games, but the contingency of Saturday. And is this your first week at school in Raleigh, Chelsea, or was this your second?
It is. Today has been my third day. So
I'm sure that had a lot to do with it, without that excitement building up of the week and things like that, to really get the excitement level in for the games on Friday night. But Roseville, they're really going to have to buckle down. They get no weeks off whatsoever. They got to travel to Kernersville to play East Forsyth, who just absolutely took it to Northwest Guilford 48-7. I am one who had a chance to see this East team in the preseason, and they look really strong. So I certainly think that Roseville is going to have their work cut out for them this Friday night as well. But this Pinecrest team, we're going to have to keep an eye on them as well, just to see how things progress with them. Dina, it looks like our big interview for the night has already logged in. If he's ready, once he cuts his camera on, they don't have his camera on yet. We'll go ahead and pull him into the studio. There we go. Dina, I'm going to let you lead this because you've certainly covered this guy, and you're the queen of high school football. So here we go. Jamal Jarrett, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is Jamal Jarrett, 2023 offensive and defensive lineman at Grimsley High School. Welcome to the show tonight. Know you guys had a big opening win last week over Clayton. Over the summer, you transferred from Ben Smith over to Grimsley. Just tell everybody how that transition has been with you coming over to the to the Worley football program?
The transition was great. Like a lot of stuff has changed. Like my practices from Smith to Grimsley has changed, and Grimsley, they treat everything like a college program. So everything we do, like early morning lifts, before school, film study, everything is different, and it's really helping us win. Like it's a winning program over there.
Hey, Jamal, you had a big win over a really strong Clayton team Friday night, and I know when a lot of people see the scoreboard and they see 56-0, they might think that it was just some average team. But I mean, Clayton has traditionally been a really strong program. How does a win like that, and then going into another tough game here this week, how does that help with the confidence of the team?
Well, we've been working nonstop back to back. So when we got the win against Clayton, it really showed us what we need to work on, and that the stuff that we have been working on has really paid off. So that was just a great kickstart to a great season.
Jamal, you guys are loaded. You got 5-star Travis Shaw, who just committed to UNC on Saturday. You got Alonzo Bart that is committed to James Madison, and yourself. You got quite a list of D1 offers yourself, and now you got some younger guys that are starting to get some offers. What does that feel like playing with a program that's loaded with some great kids?
It's great. Like everybody, like even in practice, everybody knows each other's like stories, but we still work as if we have nothing. So everybody's still pushing each other the same way. Everybody's still working as hard as possible. And it's great to have people to rely on. Like when we need a big play, we know that we have people to do it.
Yeah.
Start over, Chelsea.
Yeah. Jamal, just talk a bit about your game and with your game specifically with Grimsley, your offensive linemen, what makes them successful?
Well, offensive linemen, coaches, like when I talk to Coach Garrison for NC State, that people love watching offensive linemen move quick and use their hands and speed. They love seeing big people run. So I feel like it surprises and amazes a lot of people when they see big people like myself run and do everything the skinny dudes can do.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about your recruitment, like what schools you've been talking to lately and what you're looking for necessarily in a school that you would like to go to.
Well, the schools I've been talking to lately have been Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, and Georgia, and UNC. But so far, what I'm looking at in the school right now, I want to feel like I'm already at home. Like I don't feel like the new kid in school, you feel me? And like, I just want to like fit in. Like I just want to get better and feel like the coaches can help me get better. But that's really it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jamal, I wanted to ask you, it was obviously heavily publicized, the commitment with Travis Shaw to Carolina this past week. And to have what I've called, one of those generational kind of talents, a guy like him that's just almost a can't-miss kind of lineman that's going to go on to that next level. What's it like getting to practice with somebody like that every day? And how does just the practicing with and being with a guy like that's obviously on that next level, how does that help make you better every day?
It helps a lot. Like I call him Coach Trav because like he's been coaching me this whole time in practice so far. He's been helping me stay low, giving me drills and stuff he learned from different colleges. He's been teaching me. So he's like a big brother to me in practice, and even off the field, like even in class or sometimes Travis will walk around. You already know it's Travis. Like, he'll help you out with anything you need. So it's great to have the support from Travis. Even though he just committed to UNC, it's still great to have him.
Now you've grown a little since you changed school. Now what was it you went from, and now what are you currently?
I was 6'4", like a quarter, 295, and now at Grimsley I'm 6'5" and a half, 335.
Wow.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
No kidding. Hey, what's it like having Alonzo Barnett back there? He had an incredible night on Friday. He had touchdown passes, I think, to 7 different guys.
Yes, sir.
That's an incredible athlete back there.
Man, it's great having Zoe. Like, he's like the Captain America of the team. Like, in practice, during sideline, even when he's not in the game, or even when he's not even in practice, he still like coaches everybody up. He makes sure everybody knows what to do, and he's all about team etiquette. He wants to make sure everybody looks nice. Like Zoe, he's a really good player. He's a really good leader.
Well, here's the golden question: is Grimsley going back to back this year?
Man, I believe we can. I believe we can. We still have a lot to work on, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Y'all have a lot of key components coming back, and Travis is still out. He's still on the mend with his shoulder, and when I spoke to Coach Brown Saturday, their main emphasis is making sure he's 100% healthy and not push him to come back early for that stretch run, later in the season and the playoffs, because I think, you guys have got a great shot, and it's going to be a lot of great games when we get to that point. So, but it's still a little early, and you got to concentrate on your non-conference and then your conference games.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, tell us about how practice has been and what you think of Reagan. You got them on Friday night, and they're always a tough team. Any breakdown, any thoughts on how that game could turn out?
Well, we've been breaking down Reagan pretty much. We're practicing really hard against Reagan. Like every single thing that we've seen on their film, we're working on. Like we're getting on everything. Like practice ended not too long ago today. I think we got a really good chance against Reagan, but we ain't gonna find out until Friday.
Wow, well, it's going to be a big game. We got any more questions here for Jamal?
No, best of luck Friday.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jamal.
Good
luck. Good luck Friday.
Thank you.
All right. Wow, what a great young man that is. Enjoyed the questions, and tell he's a really bright guy.
He's got you can pick Jamal out. I've seen him several times over the summer at camps and everything. He just looks like a happy guy. He's always got the smile, and that's one thing I kind of missed with this COVID. Just up close seeing these kids smiling and having fun and everything. And Jamal is just first class, a great kid, and he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, no kidding. You could just tell he's got a very pleasant disposition. Enjoyed having him on here. Great job and great questions, by the way, guys. Chelsea, we got an interview for you still to go. Tell everybody who you spoke with this week.
Yeah, so I spoke with Millbrook wide receiver from class of 23, Ty Broughton, and he also plays basketball with their program. So I think to play basketball and football with Millbrook, you got to be a pretty tough athlete considering, the level of their program. And this will be his junior year, so I think he can really step up. So I spoke with him about what's coming up this season.
All right, well, let's go ahead and play the video. Thank you.
Kelsey Sipple from the Rundown from NCPreps, and here I have Ty Broughton, class of 23 Millbrook football wide receiver. So I just want to start by asking, you guys begun the season with a strong win against Apex Friendship. Talk a little bit about that game and how it sets the rest of your season with a win.
Yeah, it was a great win to have under our belt, top 25 ranked at Apex Friendship. I know they had a pretty strong team this year. We lost to them in the playoffs at our place, so it was nice to get revenge and have that debut underneath our belt. A lot of confidence going to the regular season play.
For sure. And I know with spring football last season, this time to train over the summer was shortened a ton. So with that time you had, just talk about some of the things you did to prepare for this season.
Yeah, so I did. We obviously had team workouts. We had early morning workouts, and then stuff I did on my own was like training. And then I went to multiple other camps and got to experience and have like one-on-one practices with other people. So being able to have that off-season workout was great for us, and it was great for preparation in the season.
Awesome. And since Millbrook has moved to a new conference, does this change the season or the culture of Millbrook football at all? And do you look forward to any specific competition?
I definitely don't think it changes our culture. We're still going to be Millbrook. We still are. We have our pride, but I think it is going to be cool to play in another conference. With Leesville and Gibbons, we had a pretty strong conference, and now moving into more of a powerful conference with Heritage, Wake Forest, and Roseville. I know there's some top teams. I think we're just as ready, and we have the same type of culture and mindset going to this conference, but I definitely think it'll be fun for sure.
For sure. And this being your junior year, what are some of your personal goals that you're striving for, and team goals also?
Well, obviously as a team, we want to win a conference championship and then hopefully go play in the state championship. And then that's kind of the team goal, and just winning every game and playing week by week. And then personal goals, just really contributing to my team and playing the best of my abilities.
Awesome. And I know Millbrook also has a really strong basketball program, which you also play for. Talk a little bit about being a dual athlete and how football and basketball kind of play into each other.
They're both very aggressive sports, very physical. So like having that experience in football, be able to use the physicality from that and using that in basketball is a great edge that I can use. And also just like being able to have being able to play at a fast pace in both is just awesome to have. So, yeah.
Awesome. And hopefully the season will be a bit more normal without COVID. Just talk about how things have already been going better since the past season.
Well, now that we've got that experience with COVID, we kind of know what we're doing. So like social distancing and like making sure we're taking precautionary actions has been much better this season. And just continuing to be mindful and being selfless so that we can have a good season and be able to play all 10 games.
Awesome. Well, best of luck this season. And again, this is Ty Broughton, class of 23, wide receiver from Millbrook. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Hey, great job, Chelsea. And I think we lost Jack.
Yeah, lost Jack.
I don't know what happened to him. He's probably out looking for his fan club.
Yeah. No Stevie tonight.
Believe it or not, this is going to sound funny. If I was to grow my hair out, I'd probably have the same curls that you guy there had. So but we're not going to do that. I don't think that gray curls are in vogue for men these days. But great job, by the way. Chelsea, if someone wants to get up with you and have you interview them for the show, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, my Twitter is at Chelsea Sipple. My DMs are open to anyone. Just reach out, say you're interested, and I'd love to talk with you.
Outstanding. And by all means, fans, give these two guys a follow them on their social media. Jack, you've got the Instagram page up to about 1 million right now.
We're close to 2,000.
Looking nice.
We're posting like crazy. We're posting multiple times a day. We're trying to keep it active, and it's a good account to follow if you want to just be updated on anything North Carolina high school sports.
Absolutely. Hey, if some of the players want to get in touch with you to set up an interview for the show, how can they get up with you?
You can DM me on iknowjack.sports on Instagram or Twitter, or DM the NCPreps account on Instagram, and I can get you an interview with that too. That works too.
Sweet. All right. Hey, before we get off of here tonight, we got some big games coming up tonight. Or not tonight. That's all I think about football. I need to get myself right. We're going to put these games of the week up if I can get it. Nope, wrong one.
Nice island there.
Hey, that is a nice island. Let's see if I can do this one more time. Nope. This is a complicated process. Let's see if we can do this. Hey, how about this? How about just the window? Tab, the window. I'm going to get there. Oh, here we go.
You're almost there.
There we go.
Hey.
So I just want to put it up here for our games of the week. Just so anybody wants to we talk about some of these. Obviously, Saturday night. I know you probably can't see these. I'll read them off to you guys. This is I thought this was going to look a little bit better, but obviously it doesn't, guys. Richmond at Butler Memorial Stadium on Saturday. Crest at Burns is a big one. Providence Day at Weddington. Hickory Ridge at Charlotte Catholic. That's one I'm thinking about going to if I'm able to get up to Charlotte this weekend. Rocky Mount at Northeastern. Clinton at Wallace Rose Hill, I believe, is already off. South Neck at Providence. Salisbury's going to Polk County. That's a big game, guys, in the 2A. Chambers up in Virginia at Highland Springs. Princeton at East Duplin. I think you're heading to that one, Jack. Panther Creek at Leesville Road. Chelsea, that's one you could consider. Hoggard at Scotland. Wake Forest at Oak Grove on Thursday. That game's Thursday because of shortage of officials. Mallard Creek will not be going to Myers Park. Matter of fact, Myers Park is now going to Clover, South Carolina. Dina, this is one that impresses me. Maiden playing 4A Watauga. I think that's a big game for those Blue Devils.
And Maiden, they have a proud tradition, and they're not scared of playing anyone. And Watauga, they've had really good success up there on the mountain, so that should be a very interesting game for both parties.
Yeah. Cleveland at Greenville Rose, they had a huge loss Friday night. Wilson Fike at Northern Nash. Northern Nash, guys, I'm telling you, they are really, really good. Shelby at AC Reynolds, Grimsley at Reagan. We talked about that one a little bit already. Dudley at Southeast Guilford. There's the big one, Dina, that you talked about, mine area at East Surrey. Eastern Randolph, that's my new number one team in 1A, got, by the way, at Asheboro. Hillside at Southern Durham. Robbinsville at Brevard. I guess that game's going off. I know Brevard was in the protocol last week. 71st at Pine Forest. Hertford County at Tarboro. I can't scroll up on this, but the other one is Wake Forest at Clayton, and then West Rowan at Davie County. So there we go. I know that's hard to read, guys. That's why I kind of read it off there for you. That about does it. What games are kind of exciting you guys, though, by the way?
Well,
that Panther Creek at Leesville looks nice.
Yeah. I'm going to the East Duplin Princeton game, so I think that's going to be a good game for Eastern North Carolina. But I'm definitely bummed that Wallace Rose Hill and Clinton is canceled because I thought that was going to be a really, really good game.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Was Cleveland playing Rose? Was that on there?
Yes.
Let me look on my sheet right here.
Yeah, Cleveland plays at Rose.
Yeah, that would be a game to follow because you got two of the best running backs in the state. Omarion Hampton at Cleveland that's committed to UNC, and Michael Allen from Rose High School that is committed to NC State. So looking forward to seeing how that goes with those two great young men. Followed their recruitment for several years, and both of those football programs are led by really great coaches. Coach Riley at Cleveland, Coach Brand there at at Rose. So looking forward to seeing that game as well.
Yeah.
I also think the Cleveland quarterback just committed to Austin P. I think. I don't remember his name, but
Locklear.
Yes.
Skylar.
He just committed to Austin P.
He's good.
So, yeah. I think he's pretty underrated.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. Hey, we do have a comment, by the way, guys. Our friend John Vestal says South Granville has Heritage at Heritage. I just hope that South keeps it close. And you got a great coach, John. I think it'll be a better game than you might think. We'll certainly keep that one on the radar.
Gotta stop Lex Thomas, the QB there at Heritage. Everybody knows his brothers are at really good players there at NC State, Thayer and Drake, and of course Lex is committed to the Wolfpack as well. So Heritage, look for them to throw the ball with Lex, and good luck to your team, John. I know you're a big follower of our side, and good luck to South Granville.
Absolutely. You mentioned, I wanted to bring this up, Dean, and Michael Allen and Amari Hampton. Those are going to be two big-time performers. It's probably going to have a chance to kind of clash at State and Carolina in the coming years. Shifting our focus a little bit to the start of the college football season, when's Carolina's first game? Is it next week?
They play next Friday night.
That's right.
And then that kicks off a big weekend. I think East Carolina and Appalachian play in Charlotte, and then Georgia and Clemson plays in Charlotte too. So college football's getting ready to kick off. I know the Friday deals is kind of it is out of the coach's control. I mean, we've talked to coaches before, and they certainly don't like playing on Friday night, but it's really not their decisions. It's the conference, the TV deals, and I certainly think that Virginia Tech would have loved to have Carolina come in there on a Saturday, basically for recruiting purposes. When you got a top 10 team coming into Blacksburg, what a great game that would be to showcase to your recruits. So, but the dollar bill says a lot in this world.
Yeah, no kidding. Do we have any games this weekend, or is next weekend the official first weekend?
I really haven't checked it out, but
yeah, game day is at Alcorn State and NC Central this weekend, I think.
That's what I thought. I thought we had one game kind of kicking it off this weekend, so I'm going to check that out.
I think there's like 4 games or something like that. So
okay. I don't watch the NFL that much, but I'll certainly watch college football. That's kind of the only thing that I do. My NFL team's not very good, although they might be a little bit better this year, but we'll see. But anyway, guys.
I'm hoping this bunch will be a little bit better this year. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And you're going to have a lot to cover up there with Carolina as well. I think that's going to be a fun year for the Tar Heels.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think NC State, a lot of people are not talking about them. They're returning a lot of kids, and one of North Carolina's best, Peyton Wilson, linebacker who was at Orange, he's coming off all ACC season. So you gotta expect Dave Doran and the Wolfpack to be right there in the hunt, because I don't think there are some people that have got them as high as number 2 in that Atlantic Division, battling Clemson up there in that division. So it's going to be interesting in the ACC.
Yeah, 1247, and I hate to mention them here on the Rivals Network, but I saw that 1247 college football writer actually had State picked to beat Carolina in his prognostications, and that's a stretch given how the season went last year, and especially with all the returns for Carolina, especially on the offensive side. But it's going to make for some fun competition.
Well, that's at the very end of the year. If you talk to Matt Brown, their total focus is up in Blacksburg, as every school should be. They're just looking at that first game, taking it one by one. But the schedule is very, there's teams on there that they can lose to. So you just got to bring your A game every day. So, but Appalachian, they should have a great. I think East Carolina's, Coach Houston, he's trying to build East Carolina back up to where they need to be. And we can't forget about Duke and Wake Forest, Coach Clausen, very underrated coach with what he has and everything. And so, and Coach Cliff, he does the best he can there at Duke, and they got some good recruits coming in. So it's and I can't leave Charlotte out, our other D1 school. Coach Healy doing really good in Charlotte, getting a lot of the local kids to buy into his program. So a lot getting ready to to start up in North Carolina football wise.
Yes, absolutely. Well, guys, that's going to about wrap it up for us tonight. We've covered all the bases. Chelsea, Jack, any final thoughts for you two?
No, nothing to add.
I will say something that caught my eye about like singular matchups is Roseville plays at East Forsyth, and that means Noah Rogers will be most likely will be guarded against NC State commit Isaiah Crowell. So that is probably one of the best wide receivers against one of the best cornerbacks. Crowell is committed to NC State, and Ross is looking. I would say he's more of an NC State lean right now. So I think that's going to be an interesting matchup between those two.
I agree, and even throw in the Crowell versus Byron Brown, the QB DB matchup. That's going to make a great game. Great observation with that, Jack. That's why we're paying you the big bucks. I wish we could say that was true, but we're going to make it up. John, I got another comment from you, John. We appreciate you tuning in, supporting us. Couldn't do it without you guys. Dina, it's that time of the show. Any final thoughts going away into week 2 that you want to leave us with?
Well, just keep doing what you guys are doing. Stay safe. And best luck to all the teams. Just not only football, we got volleyball starting up, girls tennis, soccer. So we're just not totally a football show. So anybody have any athletes that want to be on and featured on our show, hit Chelsea and Jack up on their Twitters. And if you need to you can always reach out to me at NCPreps on Twitter and on the website, NCPreps.com, and I'll get you in touch with them. But that's about all I've got. I've enjoyed it, and we had a really good week 1 of high school football.
Absolutely, Dina. Couldn't have said it better myself. And I want to echo what you said. Everybody be safe out there. The numbers kind of be creeping back up. I don't want to make it political or a COVID show, but just it is what it is. We had Coach Snow on there, and they kind of reinforced that. So everybody, take care out there. Jack, I'm going to play these clips you put together for us again in this opener on the way out.
I'll get you
y'all have a good week, and we'll see y'all next week.
Thank y'all.
See y'all.
Thank y'all.